This video was sponsored by Card Kingdom. You can visit their store by using my referral link in the description below. Hi everyone on YouTube and Twitch. In this video slash stream, I'll be opening a box of stuff that Wizards was nice enough to send me, some Forgotten Realms stuff. It came in a really cool box. I haven't opened it yet. I don't exactly know what's inside, but the box is cool enough that, you know, that's all it was. I'd be fine with that. Very cool with the Drizzt art and another dragon. I don't know which dragon it is, but let's open this thing. Maybe. Unfortunately, I don't have, I don't normally do unboxings, so my setup is not exactly optimal for this, so I apologize for that, but yeah. So here we have a map of, I'm guessing, the Forgotten Realms within Dungeons & Dragons. I'm one of those strange Magic players who's never played Dungeons & Dragons, so I may not know the significance of all these things, but this is a cool map. Yeah, guessing it's the Forgotten Realms. I have a Dungeons & Dragons adventure preview, Dragon of Icespire Peak. I think this is just a straight-up Dungeons & Dragons thing. I do have some friends who play Dungeons & Dragons, and this set has actually gotten me a little more interested in playing Dungeons & Dragons, which I guess was part of the goal, but yeah, this is for some sort of campaign in Dungeons & Dragons. That's cool. I have one of those now to start off with. Okay, we've got Magic Pinfinity limited edition. I'm guessing that means this is going to have pins in it. Does that seem like a good guess? Let's see. Yep. Oh, interesting. So we've got a Drizzt Do'Urden card pen with like the fancy collector art. That's pretty cool. We also have this one. I think is my favorite. There are three of them. This is my favorite of the three. It's just a, Dungeons and Dragons Magic fusion thing where you have like the Planeswalker symbol and Dungeons and the 5 mana symbols and Dungeons and Dragons-y things going on around it. And then we also have the Den of the Bugbear pin with that module art or whatever that is. I think that's what they called it when they showed us that. So that's cool. That is cool. Okay. So what do we have here? Got a cool wooden box with the magic symbol on it. As I've said when I've gotten these like promotional unboxing things, and thanks to Wizards for this, by the way. I always like the boxes. The Strixhaven box is actually behind me. So there you go. Oh, it's a compass. That's pretty cool. Compass. We got a magic compass / Dungeons and Dragons compass because it's actually the fusion symbol there with the and from Dungeons and Dragons and the Planeswalker symbol. And what else do we have? Well, for one thing, we actually have some cards. Usually when I get these boxes, I don't get cards, but we do. We have 3 Forgotten Realms collector's boosters. I'll be opening those momentarily. We also have a bunch of 12-card set boosters. Dungeons and Dragons Forgotten Realms set boosters. That's cool. Yeah, got a bunch of boosters. That's really neat. Like I said, they don't usually send me cards, so that's new. Ooh, what do we have here? A really cool sweater. I wonder, yeah, wow. So it's got the Dungeons and Dragons symbol. It's a hoodie on the front. And then on the back, it has a beholder. We just drafted a beholder who won us our only game we managed to win. So that's timely. That is timely. Yeah, it's cool. Very cool hoodie. And, ooh, it doesn't end there. We've also got 2 of the Commander boxes for this set. We've got Aura of Courage with Gallia, Kindler of Hope, and Prosper, Tomebound is the other one, the black-red one, and the Bant one, it would seem. So that's cool. I've actually needed a paper Commander deck because I don't actually have one at this point. So these will be good starting points for that, I think. So that's cool. Lots of awesome stuff. We've also got in MTG and D&D. Oh, it's like a tiny card binder slash notes thing, which I guess is probably, that part's probably more useful for Dungeons and Dragons. Wow, what is this? So we got something else here. Ooh, this interesting. It's a magic wand thing. Feels, you know, again, not playing Dungeons and Dragons, this feels a little more Harry Potter than anything else, but hey, it's cool. Some of you who play D&D will probably know the significance of this wand. I do not. So, yeah, okay. So, let's go ahead and open up these collector's boosters as well. If I could find where I put them. There they are. I'll open these collector's boosters, take a look at the cool collector's-y kind of cards that are in here. So, 50 feet of rope, yeah, that would have been funny. That would have been funny. For those of you on Twitch who think I'm like, or on YouTube who don't know that I'm talking to chat. If you're watching on YouTube, you're not going to see that. All right, so we're opening up our first of these collector boosters. So we have a cool foil skeleton token. You know, it's a token, but that's a pretty cool foil token. Yep, and then we've got, you know, we could do kind of a crack-a-pack, I guess, you know, for limited. So we've got Arborea Pegasus, which has been a pretty nice little common for this format overall. Pretty good in the aggressive decks. Sends damage into the air, wields equipment pretty well. We've also got Spoils of the Hunt, a foil one. Been a good removal spell in the format. Right now, it's probably what I would pick. Devoted Paladin. Also a pretty nice little card. You know, pumps your whole board. It's not a bad thing to have at the top of your curve. And obviously, you know, these collector's boosters aren't realistic for real boosters. But, you know, I'm talking about limited because that's what I know. We've got Arcane Investigator. Been an okay 2-drop. It's a little slow. Death Priest of Mirkul is definitely a nice uncommon. You know, pumps a bunch of creatures in the format and then has an ability that triggers all game long when stuff dies. We've got 50 feet of rope the card, even though we didn't get an actual 50 feet of rope. Not that good in limited. Ooh, this pack is... Yeah, so we've got a foil Swamp. But you know what I'm most excited for is Minsk, Beloved Ranger. So, you know, if you don't know, this is oddly timely because my wife and I, for a local animal rescue, we take care of a lot of, like, abandoned, like, people who don't want their hamsters and stuff anymore. And literally yesterday, we picked up five hamsters that were going to be released into the wild, which you shouldn't do with hamsters. So it's pretty funny to, you know, right now we have 6 hamsters in our house, so... Having the hamster guy is pretty cool. I have to set him aside. Might just give him a special sleeve. All right, now we're looking at cards. Some of the cards with the really cool borders and stuff, like Vengeful Ancestor here. Got a cool border there. Hobgoblin Bandit Lord, this Goblin Lord in the set who has another nice ability. Yeah, I think the Priest is first pickable sometimes. Genie Windseer is a really good common in Limited, and this is one with the alternate art and whatnot, the alternate borders. We've also got Neverwinter Dryad. You know, that's a cool alternate art there. Ooh, these collector's boosters are just like stacked with so much stuff, because we've also got Mordenkainen, and this is why it's not a realistic... You know, talking about it as a crack-a-pack isn't that realistic, but because Mordenkainen's insane. I guess, you know, right now that's what I would take because he's insane and takes over games. So Displacer Beast, you know, cool creature with good into the battlefield ability, adventures, and then we also have an Orb of Dragonkind, so which looks really cool, foil. So that's the first collector booster. We have 2 more, and we'll go ahead and crack those. The Minsk is pretty funny. Maybe there'll just be a Minsk in every one of these packs. That'd be cool. That would be cool. So, all right, here this time our foil token is a Goblin. Also looks pretty good. They've gone all out on tokens these days. I remember a time when you had to use, you know, a paperclip as your token. So, so we've got Veteran Dungeoneer, another one of these Venturers. Pretty cool in foil. Mordenkainen's Polymorph, basically unplayable and limited, but it does look cool when it's foil. You come to the Null Camp, an okay-ish card for the aggro decks in the format. kind of underwhelming so far. Boulette, solid common, gets bigger all game long. It is harder to see the text on these. Like I said, not really equipped for opening these things because I don't normally do product openings, but Purple Worm, this is pretty sweet. You can play it on like turn 5 pretty often, and it's kind of a monster when you do. You see a pair of goblins, 2 good modes. Either you get a couple goblins or pump your guys. Got Foil Island, which is pretty cool. We've got Asmodeus, the Archfiend, which is a cool card. Not so much for limited, but definitely has a neat design. One of the cooler designs we've seen on one of these like demons who pays, you have to give up your soul for some sort of value. We've got Wolfgar of Ice Windale. So this is a card that's not even in the main set. It's just, in these collector's boosters, and maybe also in the commander decks. I don't know for sure, but it's pretty cool. Long Rest, not great in limited, but another card that definitely has applications in other formats. It's just very expensive for limited. So we've got the Celestial Unicorn, this really sweet life gain payoff that powers a lot of decks in the format, especially the green-white ones. And right behind it, we actually have Trelasara, who's the signpost for that green-white deck. We've also got Volo with this alternate, these are all these alternate art ones, and he's quite powerful and limited, usually makes you at least 1 copy of something. Then we've got a Knoll Hunter, which is a great 2-drop in the format. And we've got Froghemoth, which is a pretty powerful rare for limited and a cool card in general, and it has a really funny name. All right, so I'll open up this last set booster before we wrap this thing up. Let's see if we can get another Minsk. That's the goal, right? And the other funny thing about Minsk, I should have mentioned, is that, he's also bald like me, so that's, fits perfectly. So we have Mordenkainen's foil emblem here, which is pretty cool, because we also got Mordenkainen in an earlier pack. Got the Earth Cult Elemental, who, nice, solid top curve thing to have in the format, but not amazing. Half-Elf Monk, nice little creature that taps stuff down. Sylvan Shepherd, 3-mana, 2/3 with Vigilance that gains you some life when it attacks. You see a guard approach. Not amazing, but, looks cool. We've got a foil Targenar. Obviously, everything in these packs is foil. Targenar is a pretty powerful signpost uncommon for the red-green deck. Cleric Class, another card that really powers the green-white life gain deck. Got foil Forest, and the basic lands in this set all have tons of flavor text on them, which is a Dungeons and Dragons thing. All right, one of our rares is Loyal Warhound, who I really like when they design this kind of card that it's white and it ramps for you. White has always sort of had it in its wheelhouse, but it doesn't get it very often, and this is a good example because it's also a nice aggressively costed creature. We've also got Song of Inspiration, another card that's like a collector booster exclusive deal. Does some powerful things depending on what you roll. The Book of Exalted Deeds, hard to build around in this format if you're playing limited, but very cool, especially if you're in a life gain EDH deck. We've got Direwolf Prowler, which is, okay card for limited. We've got the Expanded Border Green Dragon, which looks pretty cool. One of our other rares is Zorn with the alternate art. This is the guy who multiplies treasure. Pretty cool. And we've got Baleful Beholder. That's, really cool alternate art. And we also have Varus Silvery Moon Ranger, who's very powerful and limited and basically everywhere else. So, so those are the collector boosters. We got some cool stuff. I'm most excited about the Minsk, of course. I might just have to, since he's like the collector booster version of Minsk, foil and everything, and I probably have to put it in a frame behind me or something. That's definitely the biggest steal here. Obviously, that hoodie's really cool too. Be excited for that once it actually gets cold and stops being sweltering hot. So that does it for that opening. Thanks for watching if you're watching this on YouTube. And if you're not watching this on YouTube, we're about to jump into another draft.